What's up, everybody? What's up? It is you guys, Sanchez 405. Welcome back to On the Warpath, y'all. Y'all know I love my alliteration. It's Warpath Wednesday. Yes, I'm fed up, but we're going to salute the service too here. If you're new, make sure you click the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notifications anytime there's new content posted. And as always, like, comment, share this video because we talk Washington football team. Besides last week, because it was bye week, right? We talk Washington football team most of the time here. And appreciate you being here because we got a good one. We always have a special guest on Warpath Wednesday. And on his second time here, the man, we call him Teach here. That's what we call it because we need to get educated with this team, y'all. I bring on the host, the creative mind behind Bleeding Burgundy and Gold, Mr. See, y'all know I stuttered because I forgot where my button was. Mr. Jalen Morgan. Jalen, what's up, bro? How you feeling?
My guy, like you said, my second appearance, and I hit you up. I said, I think it's time to get back on the show.
Yeah, it was.
I got a lot to talk about with this team, man. I couldn't think of the better platform to get it off on.
Yes, sir. I'm glad you reached out to me. We were originally going to do this during the bye week, but some things happened, and that's all right though. And we were able to kick the can down the curb and do it this week for Warpath Wednesday. But we will dive right into it. Coming off the bye week, 2-6, Tampa Bay looming. So I'll get your quick thoughts on the Denver game. So what were your thoughts there? And two-parter. Did your opinions change of that loss to Denver after what you saw on Sunday in Arlington?
Well, let's talk about our game with Denver first. It's crazy that I remember that snooze fest of a game. And that's exactly what it was. It was an ugly game, but I think it was a tad bit promising because I'm starting to see some of the team play in the way that we thought that they were going to play early in the season, relying on their defense and things like that. The quarterback position, we didn't really foresee what was going to go on with that, early in the season or before the season. But, I mean, I'm not too up on this team or too promising on this team as of this moment, but the defense did show flashes. And while Denver did put on an amazing performance against Dallas, it doesn't really change my opinion. It doesn't really change my opinion because, like I've told you, I've seen some flashes of the way we want to play, but the offensive side of the ball is just so inept. It's so inept at this point, and I don't think it's just the quarterback. It's just the situation that we're in, like with the linemen being hurt and things. It's back to feeling like 2019 again. I said on my one of my latest podcast episodes, our receiver core right now looks like Terry and the Pips, and it's just like it's bad. It's bad. So yeah, that's how I feel about that Denver game.
And you bring up 2019, and a lot of people thought I was joking when I called Curtis Samuel Paul Richardson. I mean, you can't really. He's Paul Richardson, man. He can't stay healthy, but when he's in there, he gives you ability. I think of the Green Bay game back in 2018. He gave you that opportunity to bust it wide open over the top. Other than that, you didn't see much out of him. And now we see what's going on. Now he might be out for the rest of the season for all we know. Let me get a couple shout outs here. We are live on Twitter as well. What's up, Tone? How you doing? Joe Sanders, what's up? And Tone says they blew it. So, but I thought the same thing though, Jalen. I did say on Travis Thomas's show, I said it didn't look like I didn't say I said the loss didn't look as bad, but it doesn't really change my opinion of everything. I think we have an inept quarterback, and that's not his fault. We have two running backs who could play wide receiver in any other offense. When you look at our poster boy, J.D. McKissick, or if you look at Antonio Gibson, who can't stay healthy, we haven't had our starting tight end in Ricky Seals-Jones. He did good. He is a good backup tight end, but that offense has lacked since Logan Thomas has been out of the lineup since that injury in Atlanta. And then the offensive line has been decimated now. No Chase Roulier. We don't know when we're getting Sam Cosmi back. Brandon Sheriff. I mean, a broke clock is right twice a day. And if that's the case, Brandon Sheriff is hurt the rest of those other two times, outside of those 2 times there. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's his coaching staff. I think John Matsko has done a hell of a job with the offensive line. But other than that, I think Drew Terrell way in over his head with the wide receivers. And like you said, it's like Terry and the Pips. And then also you look at the running back. I think Randy Jordan does enough with the players that he has. But where's Ken Zampese at? What is he doing? What is Scott Turner doing? It just seems like square hole round peg. I don't know what say you.
It's crazy that you talk about the coaching staff. And by no means am I a tall guy. I'm about 5'10", 5'11". But I've been pointing this out, and it seems like nobody's picking out on this, right? The Washington football team's defensive line, highly praised, highly heralded, and everything like that. They got stallions on that defensive line. I'm talking about 6'5" Chase Young, 6'6" Montez Sweat. Dogs, just Goliaths of men. How are they getting coached up by a guy that's shorter than me? Like, I don't understand that. And it's just like some foundational issues. Like, I can't see myself teaching pass rush skills at the NFL level. Like, and don't get me wrong, I don't think that I have the knowledge of Sam Mills, but it's just some things that a 5'10" guy can't teach a 6'5", 6'6" guy. How to use length, how to use leverage, and things like that. So, I mean, it's just, like I said, I think it's a foundational issue. I think we have deep problems. And, we had a little Febreze over the smell last year with Coach Rivera and, winning a bad division. But it's bad at this point. How you feel?
Yeah, I think that you kind of alluded to where I was going to go with this. And you kind of moved over to the defense side, boss. So I'll dive into that. But you talk about the top, you talk about Coach Rivera, and I feel like his frustrations, one thing I think his frustrations are misplaced. He gets mad with the media. He gets mad with different things. I mean, you should be mad at drug dealing Ryan Vermillion, allegedly, not trying to get sued. You should be mad. I didn't have a problem with him going after Chase Young because I feel like they may have talked about it. And I think this is a societal issue because our guy Travis Thomas, you had him on the show. He said, those guys don't respond to that. And I said, that's what's wrong with society. And you probably see it as a teacher too. You told me before you get on there, sometimes you get a little loud and that it's okay to get loud, but some people was like, oh, they're being mean. They're being, my feelings are hurt. And I don't think that's the case. One thing I think if anybody could take it in that room, I think it'd be Chase Young, knowing who his mother is and knowing what his father has done for a career. That dude was thrown on an ironing board and forged from it. But and he's your leader. He really is, because he's one of your leaders outside of John Allen. There's no leader. Who's the leader on this defense?
Right. I don't know. It has to be John Allen, right? It has to be John Allen. And the good thing about it being John Allen is he's probably the best player on this defense at this point. Arguably playing like a top 5 defensive tackle. But it's few and far between once you look past John Allen. I would like for it to be Chase, but when you do things like not show up to OTAs, to shoot an eBay commercial, I don't know who's going to remember too many eBay commercials, but to each his own. But get your money. Get your money. But I would think it would be for like a Capital One commercial, something like that. Something more memorable. But like it's far and few between after you look at John Allen and you just think about the rest of the guys they have in that play. So how are you going to follow a guy that isn't performing on the field? Secondary, you look at the linebackers. There's no really standout players on each side of the ball, even though Cole Holcomb's putting down a pretty solid season. I would think that he's third in line for the leader of the defense. But I think that that's one of the biggest reasons as well. It's just that we don't have any star players to follow behind.
I think Thomas Davis has showed his value from last year. He couldn't play worth a damn, but he was able to relay Ron's message. And I don't know if you've realized this. I haven't really said this out loud to a lot of people, but look at that coaching staff on the defensive side of the ball. Where has Jack Del Rio worked with any of these people at?
I already knew where you were going with it.
There's only one person, Brett Vesselmeyer, who was with him when he was in Oakland. Other than that, these are all Ron retreads. Sam Mills III, Steve Russ. Chris Harris played for him, right? in
Mhm.
Chicago.
Mhm.
I mean, even some of the assistant coaches that they have there are guys that are guys that came back from Ron. I mean, Richard Rodgers, they went to college together.
Mhm.
So I'm not defending Jack Del Rio when I say this, and it's gonna come off like that. But how can you get your message across when everybody can do backdoor and go back because they've already worked with Ron?
For sure. For sure. It's almost like Jack Del Rio is working with a one-man army trying to get it.
Yeah.
Like he has no soldiers. He has no soldiers of
Mhm.
his own, at least, just to make that analogy. And I think that you're starting to see some of the frustration from Jack in his press conferences. You
Yeah.
know, it's been a couple of weeks where he's like, oh, ask coach about that question, ask the head coach. Or like, let's allude to Ron, almost like as if like I don't have the answers at this point. You better go talk to your boy from Carolina. And I'm seeing it from Jack, and it's almost like
Mhm.
he wants to like just lay it all on the line, but he's holding back. And like you said, I don't blame him because you're not going to get your message across with a one-man army.
Mhm. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's look up some comments here real quick. But yeah, you're right. If you fighting one battle, if you going this way, everybody going left and you going right, you gonna wind up at the bottom of the league on third down in total defense.
Sure.
Does anyone need tickets to this Sunday's game? I have a pair they can't use. Check out No Sellout. Y'all better message them. We botched the previous seasons by following up with this garbage on the field this week. Nick, what's up? New to the channel. I'm a Bills fan, so I'm not entirely aware of the situation. Did go to the Bills Washington game, but where do you guys see this team's future? Are you going in the right direction? Right now, if you ask me that, and welcome to the channel, Nick. Appreciate you. I don't know what direction this team go. I would want to say we're going in the wrong direction, but I don't know. I don't know where up is. I don't know where down is. I do not believe, and I said this before, people's problem with Ron Rivera isn't with Ron Rivera, the head coach. It's with Ron Rivera, the talent evaluator, the do-all, end-all. Ron Rivera was good when he had a GM, when he had checks and balances, right? Taking your kids to civics class right now. When we have checks and balances, things seem to work out a little bit better. Now, I don't know now, but, we got, and like, oh, Lord, wrong time. We're not talking about politics. Anyway, but you look at it and you see that these guys, like he cannot manage an entire team. He is not a football operations guy. I mean, what do you think about that? Like, am I way off on this? But I just don't think he's a bad head coach. I just think he needs to just be a coach.
You're spot on this. And if you look at the coaches that have this coach-centric approach, they're like the top of the line coaches, like Bill Belichick, Andy Reid,
established.
Pete Carroll to a lesser extent. Like you said, established coaches. And while we may not, we think that, Bill Belichick is a great talent evaluator by all means. But, we haven't really considered Andy Reid by that. But he knows what he wants in his offense.
Right.
He knows exactly what the pieces that he needs on his offense to move the ball to be one of the most explosive offenses in a 5-year span in NFL history. And I don't have that same faith and that same trust in Ron. And I don't know what he has shown you for you to give him that power, for you to be giving him that coach-centric approach. And one theory that I have behind it is that we weren't getting Ron to come here unless we gave him all this autonomy and all this power. And I think it's starting to show the fruits of his labor.
Bingo, Bob, right there. I said back in 2019, nobody. Here goes first swear word of the day. Nobody wanted to come into this shit. Mm-hmm. Nobody did. Because you have to be there has to be something mentally wrong with you to root for this team. So that we're all crazy. We all need seriously, if you're watching a football team fan, please go seek out counseling. It's a good thing. It's okay not to be okay. And then also shout out Mental Health Awareness Month as well. But I that's what now that you say that, I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what it is. He had to go down there and say, well, Mr. Snyder, I want this, and I'm not coming here unless I get this. Because he could have had his pick at the litter. he would have bounced back. And I mean, he's coming 4 years off of Super Bowl where they went 15-1. He showed gradual improvement when they first started. That third year, they were 12-4 after only winning 13 games the first 2 years of his regime. I mean, he's the only coach in NFL history to have a losing record and win the division twice. So I mean, he's doing something right, wrong. I mean, and they won a playoff game. Granted, it was against the Cardinals, and Logan Thomas was throwing the ball then because Carson Palmer was hurt. But I don't know. But I do think I think you are 110% correct right there that he had the power of negotiation, and he basically, I mean, he used car sale us. That's exactly what happened. He said, I got you. I can get you here. And then he sells that 3 to 5 year process on changing the culture.
He knew the game plan from the jump.
Yeah, he did.
He knew the game plan from the jump. That was some of the first words that he spewed in his first press conference. Just like you said, a used car salesman.
Yeah. A mixed bag of goods. Direction with Coach Rivera, or is there a definite ceiling with the staff? I think it's reaching with the staff. I think Ron can stay, but he's going to have to do what he did in 2018, and he's going to have to overhaul this staff because it ain't working the way it is right now. 07 says he misses Thomas Davis. We need that leadership. Hey, fellas, I think Tampa Bay is going to win. Yash, what's up, man? How you doing? Welcome back. Joe Sanders said, okay, you said that already. And what's up, Rocket Man? Shout out to following on Twitter. Joe, okay, Bucs, let's see here. Hawk TV. Kyle Smith was a great scout. He could spot talent. Okay. So I'm going to say, I'm going to see, this is one thing about why, and shout out to Armand because he brings up a good point too, right? I feel like we have, I don't know if Kyle Smith, because remember, Kyle Smith, evaluate talent, Darius Geis, right? And we want to say we want to put that on him. He worked with Scott McLaurin when they drafted Tua Cravens. Sadiq Charles. What is he doing? You and I could stand out there and wear 77 for what Sadiq's done. Absolutely. Although he is the most improved player this season because he actually played more than one snap. But no, what do you think about that? Like everybody said, well, we should Kyle Smith, and I know I'm twisting your words, Armand, a little bit, but we've seen this so much here this year. I mean, did they make a mistake with letting Kyle Smith go with it? What were your thoughts on that?
I don't know if they necessarily made a mistake, but I don't think that Kyle Smith is this end-all, be-all top talent evaluator as well. Yeah, he was great in spots, picking guys like Terry McLaurin and things like that. But he's had flameouts like we just mentioned as well. So, I mean, and it's not like we're littered with talent. It's not like our roster has been littered with talent throughout the years. So, I mean, while I do think it's been better than what we've seen from Ron Rivera as the GM, and I think it should be because that's what, Kyle Smith was brought up as. His father was a GM and things like that. But I'm not going to cry over spilled milk with Kyle Smith at all. Nah, not at all.
Yeah, we seeing Kirk Cousins showing off again, and people are like, oh, maybe we should have kept Kirk Cousins. Hey, didn't happen. It didn't happen though. So we talked about this in the coaching staff and everything. Dustin Hopkins was cut seems like it's been about a month ago now, but got Chris Blewett, who was probably coaching Jim at your school. Yeah, he was. This is the stuff that makes me frustrated with Ron Rivera. A guy who wasn't good in college at kicking. That's the one thing now, Jalen.
I know.
Second of all, he hadn't kicked in a game in 5 years. First thing you do, block, and then you got a guy like, dude, you not talk to your PR people.
Right.
A guy named Blewett. Like, what the hell, man? Talk to me.
No, and the thing is, and the most frustrating part is that you honestly, like, if we're honest with ourselves and Washington football team fans, you can't get upset with the fact that he cut or that they released Dustin Hopkins. You can't be upset. Dustin Hopkins has lost us a couple of games, and he wasn't the most accurate kicker.
Nope.
The thing is, if you're going to make that move, you have to have the foresight, especially if you're going to play the GM role. You have to have the foresight of knowing this guy was struggling in training camp. He was missing kicks in Richmond when I was there. You can go check my Twitter page.
Yeah, I remember he was.
Yeah, I was reporting it then. He was missing kicks in the preseason. He was missing kicks last year, but you just so caught up on, oh no, Graham Gano can do it. Dustin did it last season. Oh, he's going to break out of it. And then the point when you get fed up with him, there's no good kickers around. That's the type of frustration and foresight that I just don't see from a guy in the GM position.
Yeah, I very reactive, not proactive, in that situation. And then and to defend Dustin Hopkins too, I will say they don't win in Pittsburgh if he doesn't have the game he has. Yeah, but hindsight's 2020. Alexander Wilson, the GOAT. He says John Keim said that Haskins and Geis were handpicked by Snyder. Well, that makes a lot of sense then. Shout out John Keim. Thank you for the super chat too, brother. His last name sums up the year. Blew it. And then Snyder did have stranglehold on drafting and scouting department in the thick of Kyle Smith's tenure. My thing is with Kyle Smith now, this is just like what I have a problem with Reverend Al Sharpton, right?
Okay.
If you're a reverend, where's your church? If you're supposed to be this great GM talent, where's your GM interviews at? Hello. I'll wait. Somebody say amen. There we go. Anyway, don't get me started up in here.
Wow, for sure.
Yeah, but Joey Sly comes in, local kid from Stafford, Virginia. Shout out North Stafford High School out there on 610. Actually, my cousins went there. So, what do you think about this kid coming in? It's another Washington Panther here. He pretty much seemed like a younger version of Dustin Hopkins, but it looks like they need to test this brother though, because I ain't never seen no kickers that been that big since Sebastian Janikowski, and we know what he was doing.
My man is swole. And
country strong.
That's that good old Virginia cornbread. But you asked me how I felt about him. Honestly, I may have a little insight, nothing too, but he was my fantasy kicker last year. And I know that he's a guy that had a big leg. The accuracy issues were there, but he's the guy. I mean, I know he wasn't available, but he's the type of kicker that once we cut Dustin Hopkins, we would like to bring a guy like him in. Not a guy that can kick in 5 years, but a guy that, has had some success in the NFL level. And just a little scouting report on him. Like I said, he has a big leg. I think that he's actually better than Dustin Hopkins outside of 50 feet. His accuracy issues come on like shorter kicks and extra points. So, honestly, that's a tad bit concerning. But we're not getting in the end zone, so we may not even have to worry about him missing extra points.
Watch we get in the end zone at least once. We got to get in the end zone at least once. Yeah, we got to hear Julian and Bram and all of them say, and D-Hall say touchdown. But now I like Joey Sly. I thought they should have went out and maybe tried to pick him up last year. Even Graham Gano. We look at, damn it, we were all there. Graham Gano, had a homecoming at FedEx Field on Thursday Night Football. Yeah, dude bombed 2 from 50. Ron, you had him in Carolina. That's the type of Panther we want here.
That's the one we want.
Oh my gosh, you look at some of these kickers around the league. Harrison Butker, hell of a kicker. Robbie Gould, ageless wonder, doing it right up. He got hurt, but then Sly came in and he went 50-50 out there. But it is what it is there. We've got good kickers in this division outside of Dallas. So, but Greg Zuerlein's historically is not a bad kicker. Yeah. And then, who do the Eagles have?
Is it still Jake Elliott?
It might be. It might be still Jake. And see, Jake Elliott's been there for you, and he had a 60-yarder a couple years ago against the Giants. Yes. Mm-hmm. So I don't we can't get kickers right. We can't get quarterbacks right. Shout out to Tone saying, stop faking. You all was jumping for joy when Dwayne Haskins got drafted. Don't blame Dan now.
I wasn't. But I know a lot of people in the Washington football team community.
I was like, oh, okay. I thought, I'll be honest with you. I'll admit this. I wanted Daniel Jones.
Okay.
And I wanted I wanted Drew Lock, Daniel Jones. I didn't really know that much about Haskins. Just that I know he was a melanin dipped quarterback. That's about it. So he looked like me. So
I knew a couple of his characteristic traits. Because dealing with I know a lot of guys from that age group. Like getting the interview with Jared.
If you go back and look in after the Carolina game, Jalen is actually in the background. So let me stop. Hey, try dry stitching. The man gonna get fired. They ain't gonna blame it on me.
It was me that took the selfie with, right?
Right. That's who was that. Y'all, that was who was behind the camera. There we go. The author of Strip Club Simba, Jalen Morgan here. No, but Sean Springs even said it to Travis. We keep on bringing up Travis Thomas. If we do it again, he might come up like Beetlejuice. Right. But Sean Springs said that it just wasn't going to work out here for him because it's a local kid, too much familiarity. And it seems like we used to have a little bit of successful local products. We brought D Hall back. Josh Wilson wasn't too bad for us. But he hit a wall. So, I mean, hope we can do with Chase Young. I don't know. But thoughts on Kenny Pickett? He's gonna be old by the time he gets his but before that's your boy though too. Aren't you the Kenny Pickett guy?
That's my QB1 right now.
Dude, he too old. He gonna be too old, man. We're gonna be like
Joe Burrow was old.
I know Joe Burrow was old.
And you see what Joe Burrow is doing. Granted, he didn't have the best game against Cleveland, but after 7 weeks of the season, Cincinnati was the 1 seed in the AFC. Come on. Like,
okay.
We and that's all because of Joe Burrow. Cincinnati is more of a poverty franchise than we are. So, like you see what happens? I mean, Joe Burrow was old. I mean, granted, I think Kenny Pickett will probably be a couple months older, but I love what I see from Kenny Pickett. I think that he needed that extra year due to like the COVID restrictions and things like that. Granted, but he's shown a lot of improvement from what I've seen, from his previous years.
Spider Monkey says, what's the word on Paul Richardson? If he plays, what's the chance he gets hurt again? He's not going to play. So there's zero chance he gets hurt again. We just answered that. My man, Micro Mike, shout out to your brother, Detroit Lions fan. They just picked up Josh Reynolds off of waivers. So before we go into previewing the game, got a couple of topics to talk about across the NFL. The Odell Beckham Jr. thing has become the biggest joke since the Washington football team. Where is he going to land? Where do you think he's going to land it?
Where do I think he's going to land or where I want him to land? Those are two different.
Let's go both.
All right. Where I think he's going to land, I honestly think he's going to end up with the Kansas City Chiefs or the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
Either one of those. I don't think that those are the best spots for him, though, but I do think that's where he's going to end up. I want him to land with the Las Vegas Raiders, though. And the reason that I say this is because Odell needs the spotlight. Odell needs to feel like he's the wide receiver one again. He needs to pair with a halfway decent quarterback. And there aren't really, with those criteria, there aren't really too many openings. And, with, Las Vegas losing Henry Ruggs, I know they brought in Deshaun Jackson, but he's a one-trick pony at this point in his career. So bringing in a guy like Odell, who I still think is a top half of the league receiver, and pairing him with a guy like Derek Carr, who was setting the league on fire early in the season, which people seem to forget, I think that can be a match made in heaven.
Yeah. Well, I can see that. I don't know about Odell going to the Raiders, though. I think they just got too much. I think one thing about Odell is he got maturity problems. That's it. That's exactly what it is. And ain't nobody gonna want to handle that. That's why I don't think he's gonna go to New England. People say New England might be up in there. Well, then again, he might change his tune. But Bill Belichick tried to fix Terry Glenn. He's like, done. See you. We send you to Dallas. So I don't. I'm looking forward to seeing where he will go. But I think Kansas City, and I think don't call him a shot dodger. He's a shot caller. Aaron Rodgers. I think that. He could go out there and play with him. I think you put him, Devontae Adams. Oh God. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? You just that'd be like one of the teams you just hate to see. Like there's everything about the Packers I hate. I hate Matt LaFleur's little smug face. I hate that douchey rat bun that Aaron Rodgers said. But damn, they just look good playing together. Golly.
They consistent, man. That's one thing you say about them. They consistently good, man. Something that we don't have. So
yes, Lord have mercy. Yeah, a little bit of jealousy there. Micro Mike says, I want to win. Yeah, man. My that bet that I took on y'all to win 5 or more games is looking kind of rough on me right now. I need some. I'm gonna start biting some kneecaps here in a minute. No, we're not worse than Cincy. Oh, yeah, we are. Oh, we are.
Right now we are
worse. Yeah, no. He corrected himself. He corrected himself.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what? I said, do what now, Spider Monkey? I know you better than that, bro. Don't let him go to Ravens. I'm already jealous. They're better than us. It is a good team. You know, I think the Ravens, they're probably one of the more exciting teams to watch in the league right now. I love Mark Andrews. Shout out to the fantasy team. Mark Andrews, he's one of my favorite tight ends to watch because it's all Lamar throws to. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I think I'm gonna be wrong. I was wrong about this guy. Lamar Jackson's counter copy is just north on I-95.
I already know what you're talking about.
You know exactly who I'm talking about. He looks like number 5 that used to wear that midnight green. Jalen Hurts is Lamar Jackson 2 years ago. They say he's going to have to beat you with his feet. He's going to have to beat you with his feet. Now we're seeing that Lamar, thank God for Greg Roman, right? But Lamar is learning how to beat people with his arms too. I've seen that with Jalen Hurts this year. I think Nick Sirianni is adult, but I think that for the most part, man, I really do think Jalen Hurts, man, he'll be the next McNabb, or he'll be like something very similar, stockier version of Lamar Jackson. I do. I just feel it, man.
I like what I've seen from Hurts.
I do.
And I've always been a fan from Hurts because it seems like everybody's so quick to write him off. Even now, it's like everybody's looking to see who's going to replace him in Philly. And all he's done is always prove the doubters wrong. I do think that he can get better as a passer, like you said, but the man is a playmaker. That's one thing. The man is a playmaker, and he's out there airing the ball out with Devontae Smith in the pips.
Yeah. Who is he? Like, I mean, the boy looked like he's throwing to like an anorexic wide receiver and then a bunch of dudes, just a bunch of Jags right there, and Dallas Goedert, right? So that's all he's doing. And then they traded away Zach Ertz, but he wasn't going to get on the field anyway. But Jalen Hurts, man, I think. Oh man, let's see here. Don't let him go. Okay, and by the time we get a franchise quarterback, I'll have a full head of hair, a great big beard. What's up, Red Wolf Rick? I'm going to ask you this question too before we go into all this Tampa Bay talk. Even if we draft a quarterback, I like Matt Corral. Out of Ole Miss. You like Kenny Pickett? Do you trust this coaching staff, the way it's established, to develop a quarterback? That's the question.
The only reason that I say yes, the only reason, and because we haven't heard much from him, is because if you look at Ken Zampese's track record in developing quarterbacks, it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. You know, Carson Palmer, Baker Mayfield, even though Baker was better under Zampese than he is now, in my opinion. So he has a pretty solid track record. Now I know it doesn't seem like it's working out with the guys we're bringing in, but you know Taylor Heineke, he is who he is at this point. I know we talk about how young he is, but he's 28, 29. Like the guy's old. Like
that's another damn lie that everybody tell you. Like that's like telling kids that Santa Claus still exists. Like he's not a young quarterback.
Shout out to my guy that just left the chat. Taylor Heineke's on his way to having a full gray hair. He's like,
oh Lord, oh man, I'm just telling you. What's up? Hey, Lamar won MVP 2 years ago. Chill. I'm just saying. Hey man, I don't think he's gonna be MVP material, but the guy McNabb never won an MVP, right? But if they get McNabb, they're gonna be happy in Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts. Lord have mercy. If they draft quarterback, have to keep Fitzpatrick around to help him develop.
I don't think Fitzpatrick's body is going to allow him to be around.
No,
Man. I don't think it.
no.
I think it's over for Fitz. That man's still recovering from that little hit. I was there. It wasn't the biggest hit by any means. It wasn't. And he's still reportedly on crutches, and we don't know when he's getting an MRI. That's that old man. That's that old man.
You heard the rumor though about that though, didn't you?
Yeah, about
the water slide. I'm starting to think that's true. I really do think that's true.
Yeah, it has to be at this point because like you had to have a prior injury to be recovering so slowly from that hit. Like, no.
Yep. I mean, you need to get some of that Tom Brady TB12 or whatever he doing. But Alex, I wanted to thank you for the super chat again, my friend. Thank you. Yeah, man, I don't trust this staff as it's currently constructed to develop a quarterback. You look at who was I talking to? I think we were talking about if you look at some of these offenses that had these plug and play quarterbacks, right? There was always like an offensive mind that emerged from there. Like a lot of people didn't realize, they were like Randall Cunningham. You could just run and play him there. Tom Coughlin was on that staff. He was a wide receivers coach, but he was on that staff. You just look at it. Some of these quarterbacks that rose in the ranks, there's always some guy in the background that's like leading guy in hand. Kirk Cousins had had two of his best years with Sean McVay. And I mean, you look at Jared Goff, right? Jared Goff is nowhere what he was in LA. So I mean, and then you look at Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford was a talent, but he has used Sean McVay has exploited that and has made him look like an MVP candidate.
For sure.
Yeah. So I mean, I just don't trust. I don't trust Scott Turner to develop that guy. I really don't. It just.
Why don't you though? Because honestly, I'm at the games.
No.
Scott has guys running wide open down the field. He's scheming the plays up, and I've said this before. I think that a lot of the reasons why you guys aren't seeing it on the TV copy,
we don't see the whole thing.
But Taylor isn't even bothered to look at it. So your eyes aren't even going to trace to where he's looking at the ball because
right.
He can't see. He can't see over those guys, but there are guys running wide open. I'm just asking, why you don't have too much faith in Scott?
I just got the hesitation because it's just one thing. We had the opportunity to go out, like a quarterback was a must. And even after one, you settled on Ryan Fitzpatrick, correct? Like Ryan Fitzpatrick, you settled on that as the answer. You could have got away with all this crap if you were 2-6 and you had if you had Fields as your quarterback or any of these quarterbacks, you could get away with this. Well, we're developing a quarterback here. That's what you could lay your head on it. And Ron is about making excuses when stuff's not going wrong. So why would you get a quarterback and be like, hey, look at us here? Like, I think it's unacceptable that Taylor Heineke is in this spot right now because you had opportunities to get better in the draft and you didn't even go after a quarterback. Like, that's what kills me about this whole thing. Or you could have went. Fitzpatrick is fine. You want to bring him in here? He'd be that stopgap. Kyle Allen ain't it. We know that. But I don't know. And maybe it's a top thing. Maybe it's a Ron thing. And maybe it's just not me. Maybe I'm not looking at Scott. Maybe I'm too critical of Scott right there. I just think I think his situational play calling is questionable. Like when you're running gun off 3rd and 1.
I got you. I agree with
that. Like that's what I'm like. I'm like, dude, get damn, what's my boy? Get Bates down there, running up there. Just power it. Get Jared Patterson, run that I formation, bring the tight end in there, just go boom.
I agree with that.
So there you go. Let's see here. Bucs think we're shrimps. Throw another shrimp on the Barbie. They go, yes, to get right. Yeah. Let's see. Scott has guys running wide open. He just don't run the ball. And that's another thing for me too. I think he needs to focus on running the ball. Doing things wrong. What do you guys think? What do you think about that?
I agree. I agree with the take, but I think that some of the reason behind that is because his bell cow running back is never healthy. So how can you really depend on him to have 20 to 25 touches a game? And then if you look at his backup, like you said before, that's a college wide receiver. I love JD McKissick. You know,
I know you do.
I'm the president of the JD McKissick fan club, but he's not a bell cow full-time running back. And then a guy like Jared Patterson, I'm glad he got the work that he did against the Denver Broncos. But he while he doesn't have the frame of a workhorse running back, he does have those traits. But you're not even using him like that. So while I do agree with the take, I think a lot of it is predicated on Antonio Gibson not being healthy.
Shrimps on the Barbie. Alex, thank you again for the super chat. Don't forget we had Kyle Shanahan, who I think is a fraud, Matt LaFleur, who's not a fraud, and Sean McVay, who I don't think is a fraud, but I think he outthinks himself. With Beck and Grossman, the fans thought at that time that the coaching staff was awful. I didn't necessarily. I thought the defensive staff was awful. I never thought that coach, like the offensive side of the ball, that they were bad. Because they could move the ball. It was just they couldn't stop anybody because they moved that 34 defense at the time.
I completely agree. Like I never thought that. I mean, I did think we had bad quarterback play, but you got to think, like we were moving the ball with Ryan Terrain and Jabbar Gaffney.
Exactly.
We were taking Ryan Terrain like he was better than we were like Clinton Portis. Who I remember that 2010 season. We were like, we got Ryan Terrain. We got Ryan Terrain.
I mean, Evan Royster.
Yeah. I never thought that offensive side of the ball was bad. And like you said, we just didn't have the money because of the tap penalizations.
Snitches.
Exactly. Snitches. To spend money on the defense. We couldn't stop a nosebleed back then.
Yeah. No, that was the thing. They were they had all these 43 men out there and they running 3-4.
Right.
And they still never got it right.
Right.
They didn't get it right when they drafted Ryan Kerrigan. You drafted a 4-3 end instead of. Thank God it worked out for all intents and purposes there. But yeah, shout out to you. Thank you, Alex, for the super chat. That's facts, Corey. Not only did they not go out after a quarterback, but the defense regressed terribly. So why invest first round pick on a linebacker? Ding, 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 ding. That's good. And I shout out to Nate Hawk Talk. He said you don't draft the linebacker in the first round.
No, not a middle linebacker at least.
Nope. Yep. And look, you got like Nick Bolton got drafted late. Who else got that? Oh, damn. Did Dallas pick up another dude? Who's the kid from LA? Cox, right?
Did they draft him? They picked him up in like the third round.
Yeah.
Now, we'll make an exception. You do draft the middle linebacker in the first round if he's like Micah Parsons that can play all over.
Patrick Willis.
Yeah.
Same way. Yeah, Patrick Willis was the same way there.
Generational type talents, but Jamin Davis is not that.
Yep. Luke Kuechly. That'd be another one that you'd go after. He's got to be a home run. Gibson should be our second, and McKissick should be our third down back.
So would that make Patterson the one? Would that make Jared Patterson the one?
I would
be a fan of that. That's my little bro.
I know. That was a good interview you had with him too. You said you think Jimmy G would be a good fit in Washington.
What you think?
No.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's not a good fit in San Francisco, and I believe wholeheartedly that Kyle Shanahan's gonna make Trey Lance look like a bust. So, but that's it. I do.
I have my concerns about that too, and it's all on Kyle Shanahan. You know, he wants to be a diva. You know, he wants to be the biggest name in his organization. So I can see him, sabotaging Trey Lance's career. I'm with you on that one.
Kyle Shanahan, he is good for one Super Bowl, and then his ball players start getting hurt. The other things occur. He does not see the big show. Why do you think he's the fraud? Why do you think he's fraud? Why do I think he's a fraud? Well, the same defense that a lot of people, I'm not saying you, Carlton, I'm not saying you, but the same people that bring that up are the same people who want to fire Ron Rivera right now. I think Kyle Shanahan has had one winning season. One winning season. in his career. That's when they went to the Super Bowl. Other than that, he's had double-digit losing seasons. What is it? Is it the fact that, or is John Lynch a fraud? Somebody's a fraud in there. It's either GM or the head coach. Because it ain't working. It's not working for him. And then you got what's his name? D'Amico Ryans is calling defensive plays now after Saleh left.
No, I agree. Like I agree with you because back to the Washington football team, I've never put 100% of the blame on Robert Griffin III. Yeah, he was a diva, and yeah, he had a lot of issues wrong with him. But the Shanahans were looking to sabotage him by the time that 2013 season came. And I think that Kyle Shanahan bought his hype just as much as Robert Griffin III did.
Yep.
They both were drinking each other's Kool-Aid, and it just didn't match.
Yeah, the arrogance. Shanahan arrogance mixed with Robert Griffin III arrogance. They both have a hand-to-hand blame in it. I don't think that he's a bad coach. I think he's a great offensive coordinator. I really do. Because look what he did with Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan ain't been the same since. But I think the arrogance. I think the arrogance factor, he thinks he is his daddy. His daddy won Super Bowls because of Terrell Davis. Don't let nobody else tell you that. And if they tell you that, that's a lie. Because he wasn't doing anything before then. He didn't do anything afterwards. Yeah, Alex, and that's what I said. I said they settled on Fitzpatrick. I know that the team did send an offer in. That's why I said you could have done more. Ryans was a good linebacker. Yep. Tell the Rams gave 2 first-rounders for Stafford. The deal was done. Exactly. Yeah. Ron wasn't going to do that. So we got to keep our draft capital. But anyway, we have talked. We got to talk about this game now. We got to talk about this game. Tom Brady and company come to FedEx Field for their return. Interestingly enough, this is Tom Brady's 3rd consecutive trip in as many years to FedEx Field. 19, 20, and 21 now. When we look at this team, they lost to the Saints. They played close with the Cowboys. They got blown out by the Rams. What do you expect? And now Gronkowski might not play. Chris Godwin might not play. I think we're going to see a little bit of the run. What do you think we're going to see out of this team?
I think that it's going to be more competitive than a lot of people think going into. I think that the spread is like 9.5, 10 points right now.
It's going to be close.
I think it's going to be closer than that just due to the game styles. I don't even think we're going to bother to run the ball a lot. And I think that the worst position on Tampa Bay's roster is the defensive back position, the cornerback position. I think they have 2 pretty good safeties. So if you are able to bring in at least another receiver that's healthy, maybe a Adam Humphries or maybe a De'Ami Brown can finally show us something. De'Ami Thomas, as I like to call him, or De'Ami Kelly, as I like to call him. Maybe they can finally show us something. But I think that, Terry, this can be a big day for Terry McLaurin. All in all, I do think we're going to lose because they do have a pretty good roster and they're just outmatching us. But I do think it's going to be closer than expected. How about you?
Yeah, I think that I wouldn't bet on it because one of my buddies always tell me you don't crap where you eat and you don't eat where you crap at. So I can't root for my teams, right? But you look at this injury roster. Antonio Brown probably not going to play. He didn't practice this week. So far this week. Chris Godwin, we don't know yet. Gronkowski probably not going to play. Hey, no tight end. So OJ Howard, get ready for a career day, right? Or Cameron Brate, whoever you got there. Pierre-Paul, I don't know if they're reattaching appendages to his hand. He didn't practice today either. Giovanni Bernard, Rashad Robinson, D. Delaney. My favorite wide receiver in the NFL is on this team. I love Mike Evans, man. I love him. I love me some Mike Evans. The dude is sneaky fast, but he's physical.
Bully. He's a bully.
I said, Kendall Fuller. I was like, damn. I felt so bad for Kendall Fuller during that playoff game.
Last year.
He said, boy, get off of me. I was like, oh, God.
He was manhandling Kendall Fuller last year. And that's really where and this is where I talk about having the foresight. Last year, towards the end of the season, I don't know if you agree, Corey, but I thought that Ronald Darby was our best cornerback from November on. Kendall started hot with those few.
Why not put Darby on him?
But Why not move Kendall Fuller back to safety this offseason and re-sign Ronald Darby? Now, I know he's not having the best year in Denver, but he excelled in your system, Jack. He had one of his best years of his career in your system. Now you're bringing in this guy, William Jackson, playing out of the system, and he's burnt toast.
Yep.
He's
burnt toast and coffee term. That's exactly. Lord have mercy. Let's get through some of these comments before we talk a little bit more about Tampa Bay. Me personally, I think Kyle and John Lynch bought 2 drafts, but Washington related. I desperately wanted Justin Fields and Ron's cheap ass, and I want to trade up. LOL. I feel this with my soul.
Me too.
I feel like this may have been my ghost account. It's not my ghost account, but Trayvon, I agree with you 110% there. Tom Brady is going to be throwing the ball all over the Washington secondary. Tom Brady, interestingly enough, has struggled at FedEx Field.
Right. And it's the weirdest thing, isn't
it? Yeah. The only game that he really didn't struggle with, in 19, they had a slow start, but then he started ripping it off. But you go back to 2011, that game almost went to overtime. If Rex Grossman doesn't throw that interception to Mayo, he lost. That was their last loss before they went on that win streak.
Super Bowl, right?
Yep. And then who else was it? And then last year, off and on, but they just couldn't get rid of what Deron Payne had 2 sacks on him last year. So it's right in there. Let's see here. We should have pulled the trigger on Fields and Mac Jones.
I agree.
Yep. 110% there. Alexander Wilson, RG3. Thank you again for the super chat, brother. RG3 ruined that. He told the owner. He with the owner told Kyle and LaFleur once play run, and that was so stupid. B.O.B. took plays and made him good. It wasn't the owner.
Can I speak on that really quick?
Go ahead. It wasn't the owner though.
Kyle and Mike didn't want Robert from the jump though.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't want him from the jump.
Exactly. Hello.
They didn't want him from the jump. So I get like I said, each of them has a hand in it. Each of them has a hand in it. But Kyle was quick to sabotage Robert. As soon as he was waiting for Robert to give him a moment like that. See, you don't want to run these plays? Well, let's scrap everything for you. Yeah. Like they didn't want him to jump. I agree. And we've all heard that report that happened, but they both had an equal hand in that department.
Yeah. Crafty Southpaw from Tom Grossi, the Grossi Posse. Appreciate you. If you're one of those folks that came through on Sunday night, appreciate you. Appreciate Tom for his support, man. That was awesome. And let's see here. Get to a couple more questions. Let's see. It's true he struggled in the past at FedEx, but this year the Washington football team he's playing against. Yeah. I mean, that was a bad defense back in 2011 too. Now let's not be. I'm not saying the offense is severely understaffed. I'd take Rex Grossman at this point on this team. Washington reminds me of the Flint, Michigan, the Fling, Michigan Tropics. We're one of the oh my gosh, always trade someone that can help us for an effing Washington, Michigan, Flint, Michigan Tropics. Oh gosh. Hey, you ain't wrong there, man. But I think, and then they said that the over under on here is like 51 and a hook. I don't know. Does it get there?
I think it does. I think it
really
does. And just somebody that dabbles in the sports, a little bit of sports betting and things like that.
Every teacher has a side hustle. I heard, so.
For sure. I think that a lot of people, the sharp money is going to go on the over. And I think with the game trend, like I said, I think that Terry he's due for a big game. This may be one of Terry's 2 touchdown performances that we've seen, like maybe in the Green Bay game, or an explosive 14 reception game like we saw against the New York Giants. I think we've had a week to prepare. I know Tampa's not going to have a problem scoring on us, but I think that we're going to be able to put some points up on their defense as well. I don't think we're going to bother to run. And you mentioned all the injuries on the defense. I think we're going to put some points up on them.
Like the captain of the football team on prom night, nothing but scoring. Anyway, we're getting Tom Brady 25 touchdowns so far on this season, and you look at this Tom Brady and them. They're 4-0 on the at home, but they're 2-2 on the road. Something you can exploit there. I don't know. We ain't gonna touch it though. Washington 1-3 at home and on the road. There, that gives you, if you do your math, 2-6 for us. So we move over this, and I say Washington. I always ask this. Shout out Kevin Sheehan. Washington wins if.
Ooh. Washington wins if.
I don't want no smart ass answer either.
Oh, you know what I'm about to give you. I was watching
No. Give me a smart ass answer.
COVID Sunday morning.
Damn it.
No, let me give you an honest answer. Answer. Washington wins if Chase Young is finally stepping up to be the player that we predicted him to be in year 2, and Terry Mclaurin has one of those Terry Mclaurin type games. I think that those are your 2 most talented players. While I don't think that Chase is the best player on the defense at this point, I think if your 2 most talented players are able to have a day, I think that it can give Washington a chance to win. But we haven't seen those 2 have a day on the same day in a while.
I always say this, and I keep on saying it. Ball control offense. Keep Tom Brady off the field. Run the damn ball. Run the damn ball. If that means you got to put Jared Patterson out there, run it. Run it till he throws up. Run it with Gibson. Like, do not give them opportunities to get back. And we saw when this team had a concerted effort at Green Bay, it was just the red zone. The red zone offense was just atrocious. But if you follow that game plan, man,
we moved the ball.
Yeah, we're moving the ball. Run the ball. Have a concerted. I don't care if you're running out there. I don't care inside handoffs out of the gun on 2nd and 5. That's fine. But don't do that on 3rd and 1. Especially when you're in plus territory. Give Joey Slye an opportunity to win, to kick a field goal there. I do, however, believe Washington will. I think Washington will play a very competitive game, and it will shock some people. It will shock some people too. But I think at the end, Tampa is just too much, too talented, and they overcome their injuries on there because our offensive line is in shambles right now. Hopefully we get Logan Thomas back this week. Not sure. He hasn't been activated off the IR yet. So I will. I think that Tampa Bay will do this. Will win this game on us. Alexander Wilson. Before we get to our 6-pack, don't forget Santana Moss said that RG3 lost a lot of. That RG3 lost a lot of respect when he was bragging that he got the Shanahans fired because they were actually liked. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying Little Nas X is a good person. Yeah. I mean, RG3. Sorry, I got confused for a second. Old Town Road Griffin. He just, it is what it is. There's a lot of stories about Robert Griffin III. A lot of folks don't even know about. Right. Especially when they was down there in Richmond. So ask Becky about that later on. But score TDs over field goals, yes. Thank you again for the super chat too, Alex. Run the same play and practice over and over, Jackie. Crave stuff like you can't cover all the Bucs weapons. You just have to go all in on smothering Brady. That's actually true. But that man, he gets that ball out quick.
And with us playing cornerbacks 13 yards off the ball every play, which I don't understand. Even us going all in and blitzing, man. If you're able to run a 3-yard hitch route without being touched, it'll be completed, man.
Like I think about that. I think about that game against the Chargers and Keenan Allen on the game with it, and the guys were lined up 5 yards off the line of the game. I'm like,
they behind the sticks. They playing prevent defense.
I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what? Like, what? Like, this is it. That's the game. And it was 3rd and 18. It wasn't like it was something small. It was 3rd and 18.
They let that man sit right at 18.
Yeah. Underneath. We can blame John Bosco. We want to on that. That was bad play design. His ass shouldn't have been on that field. And they just played bad play design. No situational awareness. It's why you're awful on third. Oh, yeah, you got to get off the field on 3rd downs, man. Get off the field on 3rd downs. This is the worst 3rd down defense in the league and I think even worse 3rd down offense. So you got to get off the field there. But we go to our favorite segment, the patented 6-pack of picks here. And last time we did it, who was on here last time we did this? Toothpick was. So I think Toothpick got, let's see here. Boom. No. It don't matter. It was terrible. Anyway, so I got 6 picks games here. We start out with a Thursday night game. Baltimore is at Miami. I throw you a softball.
Just are we playing money line?
We just go money line. We just do heads up. No, we Christians here. We don't gamble. We don't gamble no money.
Let's go with Baltimore for sure. Baltimore, explosive offense. Miami's defense has regressed a lot this season. If Tua even plays, they're going to give him fit. So I'm going with Baltimore for sure.
Gets a little bit tougher here. Coming off a big win in LA, New Orleans goes to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Trevor Siemian.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Titans make it 2 in a row after losing Derrick Henry?
I don't think so.
You're going New Orleans.
I'm going New Orleans, and the reason why is because I think that they're going to make Ryan Tannehill beat them. And New Orleans has a pretty good secondary, and I don't think he's going to be able to. They have a pretty good defense, the Rams have a pretty good defense, but they can be ran on and things like that. So they were getting beat with a lot of play action passes, but I'm going to go with New Orleans on that one. I know.
Okay, this segment over with.
I know.
But
when New Orleans wins, I'm gonna come back and holler at you.
No. Number phone block. Who number? New number. Who did? I'm gonna get that because what was it? What were we? We always sometimes we always
right?
It was top 100. I said Terry ain't gonna be on here. He like, man, he gonna be on here. I'm like, he ain't gonna be on here. Damn it! And then those bastards made the video of it, dude. That's what. Damn. Cleveland goes to New England. Second game without OBJ. Had a great game at Cincinnati. Beat the brakes off of the Queen City Jungle Kitties. And then you also have Dirty. What'd you think about that?
It was dirty. Like there's no other way to put it. I can't even buy the I thought he had the ball, because even if you think he has the ball, you don't make a tackle like that. You don't make a tackle twisting ankles. Like this isn't Kurt Angle in the ankle lock. We're not in WWE. So I don't think there's any way that he could justify that action. How about you? What you thought about that?
I thought it was filthy. I thought the fact that he could get away with it, say he was grabbing his leg, but he legitimately whipped that leg around to trip him and trip Brian Burns, and he thought he had the ball. I'm like, dude, don't come up with that. I said this was gonna get you. Your ass might got beat in the locker room after that. So thank God your mama ain't Zach Wilson's mama, because you'd be in trouble, because she would have got you in trouble there. Let's see here. Who are you going with?
I'm gonna ride with New England. I think that Belichick is going to give Baker Mayfield fits. He's going to get off that high. He's going to actually see that he misses Odell just a tad bit, not much. And I'm gonna go with New England.
I'm going with bum shoulder Baker here. Let's go with Cleveland. I'll take them on the money line. Atlanta is at Dallas. Something make you want to go. Do you feel bad for the Falcons?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't feel bad for the Falcons at all. Not when my team is going through the misery that we're going through right now. But I'm actually going to ride with Dallas. I think that they get their mojo back. I think that they're actually going to run the ball. I think this is going to be a big Zeke game, and I think that they're going to whip up on that line.
Yeah, if Tracy Morgan doesn't get hurt, I think they'll have a good chance to win this ball game. Yeah, give me Dallas in this one. A great Sunday night game last year. Kansas City, the Jackson Mahomes go to Vegas, which you're probably doing a TikTok on the craps or whatever. I don't know. But, here we go. I got a perfect one. He goes in that chalice, the Al Davis chalice right there, the flame. And he should just go in there and do a TikTok. See how that works out. I'm not petty.
I know, since we just out here disrespecting the dead, right?
Yeah, let's go on. Yeah, let's go on here. You want to do that? You want to go up there? Like, see, tell me how early preview feels of the hot burning ashes up there. Anyway,
we do not have a black hole in FedEx Field. They do not.
No, you don't. No, we don't. But we got 21, and we got 21 reasons to get on him though. Kansas City struggled. They struggled against Aaron Rodgers-less Green Bay team, which I thought I'm not impressed with Kansas City.
Yeah.
Do they have a chance in hell to go up against the Raiders, who have so many problems? Emails worse than Hillary Clinton, speeding worse than Dale Earnhardt, and now you bring in Deshaun Jackson, bona fide diva.
Right.
What do you think there?
I'm gonna roll with Kansas City, and the reason why is I think that this is actually the game that Patrick Mahomes gets his mojo back.
Really?
Again, the thing is, and the reason that I say this, I have no history or no track record. He's played horrible this season, but I'm one of those guys where I like giving these guys as their roses early, especially when I feel like they deserve them. And I think that Patrick Mahomes might be the best quarterback talent that I've ever seen with my eyes. And for that simple fact, I don't see him going through a season-long slump. He's got to break out of it at some point, right? And I think that this is the week that he does it.
Yeah. Hey, Cruising, where you been at, bro? Ever since we beat y'all in that streak, shout out to Carl Banks. See, I told him I wanted to sit right there under the radio booth, and I got to yell at Carl Banks, and I said the streak ends tonight. I got a little worried, but I did. So, hey, we're back even now, bro. Shout out to my guy. He a good one. Kansas City Chiefs thrashing Raiders. You know what? You convinced me. I'm going to go Kansas City as well in this one. All right, now it's the battle of the 2010 to 2013 Washington Redskins coaching staff. Sean McVay and his Rams go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers Monday Night Football. Who you got in this one?
I'm gonna roll with the Rams. I think they're peed off. I think there was arguably, I don't know, they had a pretty bad performance against Tampa Bay as well. But they're coming off one of their worst performances of the season, and I think that the 49ers should pack it in. Their season is done. They don't know what they want to do with the quarterback. They have just as many injuries as we do, so I think they should just pack it up and get ready for the draft.
Okay, all right, I agree with you on the LA Rams. And I'll ask you this: should this team tank the rest of the season?
The Washington football team?
Yes. I want to hear your. I want to hear this answer.
Listen. You ready? I don't want us to tank because that would go against all my fandom and everything. Is that I'm gonna always root for this team. But I wouldn't mind if we had some young players broke out. Some of the things that we wanted to see early in the season happened, and we still lost every game to get that draft pick. So I don't want us to tank. I don't want us to ever go in there and intentionally lose games. But if we don't win a game the rest of the season, I'm cool with that. How about you?
I always believe this. You run on, you see what the end's going to be. If you win games, you go out and win. If you don't, you don't. And then I'm also under the impression is you can't tank if you suck.
Right.
Like you can't tank if you suck. Like if we suck. Like that's just case in point. We are awful. You can't take. It's like saying it's like a oxymoron, right? You're like we're gonna be real. We're gonna be real good at being bad. Like, we're already bad though, Another crazy question I'll ask you too, because I thought about this, Amber. Who gets your mid-season MVP awards?
So you said awards. Are we doing one, or are we doing one on the offense and one on the defense?
Let's do
Which one you want?
Let's do both. We'll do both. We'll do both sides.
All right. I think it's pretty easy on both sides of the ball. The first one will definitely be Terry McLaurin for me. Like I said, he's had a 2-touchdown performance. He's had a couple of big games. The Falcons game, the Packers game, and the Giants game, just to name a few. And I think that he's made Taylor Heineke look better than what Taylor Heineke is in a few instances, especially the Giants game. But on the defensive side of the ball, I think it's got to be John Allen. I think he's tied with the league lead in defensive tackles amongst sacks. He's amongst all league leaders in tackles for losses. And he's showing you why we gave him that big contract. He's showing that he's worth every penny of it. How about yours?
See, this pettiness, Cruz. Like this pettiness. Y'all lost. Y'all got lost. They don't care. It was the grace of God, but y'all still lost. Give me my propers, man. I did it for you all over there, them winning streaks. Give me my propers, doggone it. Shout out to my, yeah, that's one of my guys right there. Yo, what's up, Blacker? They said the old folks called the coroner called for him today.
Basically.
Yeah. I hate taking play for the fans. If you're bad, be bad, but don't tank, right? You guys see, shout out for the Super C. I tell you, he does this to me all the time. You guys don't don't have to tank, it'll just happen, right? Merrill says, shout out to Merrill. I think they'll go on a run. I think that is the most Washington thing. Yes. Tanking is a loser mentality. You're absolutely right. And I don't believe in it. It's the corniest thing. Until we're mathematically out of it, I say you go out and win what you got to do. But for my MVPs, I am going to go with there's no doubt it's going to be Terry McLaurin on the offensive side of the ball. Like I said, you alluded to the 2 touchdown games he had. I think that he is doing everything he needs to do to get paid. Hopefully they can get something done in the off season where he's going into the last year of his contract next year. And on the defensive side of the ball, I think there's no doubt in my mind that it's Jonathan Allen. The biggest example of somebody getting paid and doing more than when before they got paid.
For sure. Right.
You don't see that. And I like that out of him. Local kid, local success story right there. Went to Stonebridge. Shout out to them. So I think that I like him in that. I'll give you unsung hero this so far in this season. I think I know where you're gonna go with this one.
You already know where I'm gonna go. The guy that left a huge impact in our only 2 wins. J.D. McKissic.
That's right.
J.D. McKissic, the guy that needs to be involved in the offense more if we want to continue to win any games. He like you've seen it, and you saw everybody come at my neck on Twitter. I told you, I said I think that J.D. McKissic is what we wanted Chris Thompson to be.
Yeah,
the productivity is there, the availability is there, and when he's given a chance to shine, he shines. Yep. He shines. The only time that J.D. McKissic has a bad game is when we don't give J.D. McKissic opportunities.
Right, and I've said that on here, quoting you, and I said I couldn't remember what I said. Somebody said that. I think it was Jalen, but I was like, I use that on here. Shout out to you. There's my source. Credit in. Don't give me for plagiarism there. So look at where Miami's at tanking. Miami was bad though. Crafty Southpaw. They were bad to begin with. They weren't tanking. They just weren't good. Let's see. We better watch out if we get anywhere. If the NFL will send us to play 3 games in London next year. Said okay. So this is I keep on I add on things, but I get you because I know we're up against the gun here. All this stuff that has went on with the team, everything, and we've seen even some of our folks kind of fall off in doing this. I'm gonna ask you this, and I'll elaborate on me. What keeps you going when it comes to being a fan of this team?
Hey, this is a perfect segue. My last podcast episode, Bleeding BNG podcast, I actually titled it "Checked Out." Because Corey, honestly, I'm so close to checking out. But what honestly keeps me going is guys like Terry McLaurin, guys like Jared Patterson, and me seeing like I've been a fan of this team all my life, so I'm gonna want to hold on to it. So even if you give me a little glimmer of hope, like a Terry McLaurin, a little glimmer of hope, like a Jonathan Allen, I'm going to stick to it. I'll admit I'm in an abusive relationship, but that's honestly the only thing that really keeps me going is my naiveness. Honestly, what keeps you going?
I'm going a little bit deeper than this, man. I really do. I'm going to say this because I look at this team and I think of the good memories that I've seen with my team. I never forget. I always tell people this. A lot of people who watch my show, they know every year, October 27th, 2014, we go down there, beat Dallas on Monday Night Football. That was the day my granddad died. He's a big Washington. He was a big Redskins fan. I remember that. I remember meeting some of the cool people that have been connected with this team, whether it's been Doc Walker, Julie Donaldson, Bram Weinstein, like those, they're good, they're cool people, very down to earth. The people who cover it keep me going on that. And at the end of the day, I root for this team in spite of whatever goes on there. And I said, I can't give up on this team because they're losing, because I've been with this team through sexual assaults. They're all like, well, not sexual assault, they're all this crap and everything. And we stand right beside them. Like at the end of the day, and that's what keeps me going, man, is that I have it's abusive relationship, but the love that I have, it's like family. Like, you just go in it is my escape.
And to touch on what you said, honestly, this is my first year creating content for the Washington football team. But honestly, a thing that has kept me going this year in particular, just speaking on this season, is meeting guys like yourself and guys that make up the Washington football team community. Because, I think it was Sunday night when I came to you. I was like, Corey, I need to vent. I need to vent.
Yeah, bro.
Get me on that episode. I need to vent. And just having you, guys like Rio, guys like Tim, and just building that strong community. This was something I actually needed, especially after the pandemic and things like that. So you guys, and like I said, my naiveness and my love for this team.
Yeah,
I do love this team at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I said at the end of the day, this is my escape. Like I never got in this to do, like I tell people all the time, they're like, well, you make stuff off of YouTube now. I didn't get into it for that. Is it a blessing that it's there? Yeah, but I did it because I love this team. I like talking about it. I like bitching about this team. And I like making people laugh. I do. I even good and bad times. Like I will throw an off-color joke, and you done seen it in person. I will drop an off-color joke in a minute. Don't matter. Like y'all was getting on my ass at Tampa. Oh, Mr. YouTube here, Steve Johnson. Let's talk Washington. He had a tech guy. His claws came out, bro. But it's people like you. It's people like these guys right here now. Shout out to the Washington football addicts, man. Stay the course and develop the young Bucs. That's right, man. That's right, y'all. No need to F around with 5 to 6 wins. Then they're right back at 7-9, picking 15 to 20. Develop, keep rebuilding. Shout out to my guys there. And Hawk says, my guy said his fandom is caused by abuse. Yeah, I felt that in my soul too, man. It's like heartburn. Shoot, it's like, I mean, it's everything. But like this, I mean, this is escape. We do this for fun. And we share our frustrations with people. And that's what I love about it, man. But I really wanted to wrap up with that, and appreciate you coming on. You always have a home here on the Warpath. Tell the people where they can find you, and tell them what's coming up next on Bleeding Burgundy and Gold.
Absolutely. So as Corey just said, you can find me on Bleeding Burgundy and Gold. We're on all podcast platforms, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts. Anywhere you look, you're going to be able to find us. You can search up Bleeding Burgundy Gold or Bleeding B&G or my name, Jalen Morgan, on YouTube. Our podcast episodes all are recorded, so every episode comes with a video as well as an audio track. And coming up, we're just going to preview the Bucs game. I know we touched on to it with Corey, but we're going to go a little bit more in depth with some matchups and things like that. And we're also going to start we're going to unveil our Parlay Poppy segment, because I told you I've delved into a little sports gambling as well. And
this damn man and his alliteration.
That's
why we get along.
I've had some recent success. And shout out to my guy Rio Robinson for actually mentioning that I did, because he knows about some of the bets and things I make. So we'll be unveiling our Parlay Poppy segment as well. So make sure you're tuning in to that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. I got the itch, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah, man. But Jalen, like I said, I appreciate you, brother. And everything. Everything you're doing, man. Y'all go out and go out. He is in the in my favorite sections on the main page. Go down there, find Bleeding Burgundy and Gold, and go subscribe to him here on YouTube. Help him out, and then follow him on Twitter, dude. This is Black excellence right here.
Thank you, man.
The man is he's an educator, and he's molding young minds. Support this dude and what he does, because we need a lot more around here like him. But Jalen, appreciate you, brother, as always. Hey, happy early birthday.
Thank you,
next week.
Happy early birthday, right? Same day, right? Happy early birthday.
Y'all don't know this, But what year were you born?
95.
95. So on my 5th birthday, this guy was born. So hey, we are Scorpio season closers.
Yes. They
And
leave it up to the realest ones to close the Scorpio season.
The craziest ass dudes in the world.
Absolutely.
Get to do it. But yeah, happy early birthday to you. Hopefully, we're gonna beat the Panthers. We usually have successor on our birththers when it comes to
yeah,
we do have
Green Bay one day before our birthday.
Yep, that's right. Oh yeah, in 2016, that's right. Yeah. I remember we beat the Giants in '99. And then it was another. I can't remember one, but we beat it. And then I was like,
pretty good success on that.
So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, y'all. Y'all go. But shout out to Jalen for Jalen Morgan, Bleeding Burgundy in gold, Sanchez 405. Y'all make sure you keep the same energy. Slap a table every once in a while. We will outlast the bastards together. Might not be this year, but it will be soon and very soon, as Andre Crouch would say. To all y'all, till the next time, love, peace, and hail. Hail to the Washington football team. We out. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for stopping by too. We out.